Welcome to this module on open source large language models with Replicate. Throughout this module, we will learn how to use Replicate through Flowise to utilize open source, pre-trained large language models via the cloud. Replicate is an environment that simplifies the execution of machine learning models in the cloud. It allows you to run models, whether they are open source or your own, whether they are public or private. Specifically, Replicate is a kind of platform that offers service to rent GPUs for the purpose of training and running large artificial intelligence models. Its management toolkit for large language models allows users to focus on working with data rather than managing server resources. Thus, it is a platform that facilitates the use of large language models in a cloud environment, ideal for those who do not want to worry about hosting models on third-party or own servers. As indicated on their website, with Replicate you can host models in the cloud environment and scale them easily. Now let's go to the Replicate page to see in detail what it consists of. On this platform, we can observe a section dedicated to model execution. They indicate that it is easy to execute any type of large language model with just a few lines of code, without having to delve into how it works. You simply have to use the Replicate library and launch the query. This is the API they provide upon entering the platform, and the startup prompt where we give the model our instructions. For example, there is a model that converts text to images, and the result is displayed afterwards. This action can be performed using Python libraries or calls to their API. They have hundreds of models prepared for different applications, working with text, improving image resolution, restoring images, creating or editing videos, and transforming from images to text or vice versa. In addition, they showcase use cases developed with their platform. An example is Room GPT, where based on instructions on how a room is desired, the model automatically generates an image of it. It is also possible to upload our own models, whether they are public or private, easily. To facilitate this, they have created an open source library called Code, which allows generating a Docker image of the model and then integrating it into their environment. Here, they provide the necessary YAML file to generate said image. Once the image is generated, we can easily obtain predictions using the provided code. Furthermore, Replicate allows you to push the image to its cloud environment seamlessly. One of the significant advantages of this platform is its scalability. It offers the possibility to adjust the computational resources that host the models. It has an API that automatically scales resources for intensive use of the models. It is a cost-effective option since you pay for use, generally resulting in being more economical than acquiring resources upfront and consuming them later. The platform ostensibly meets all the requirements to facilitate the use of large language models. To start using it, it is necessary to register through a GitHub account. Once registered on GitHub, we can access Replicate. Upon entering, we will see a general dashboard, the model section where we can upload our model or access open source models through a search engine. A section to obtain predictions with hosted models, and an area dedicated to model training. We will start with the model section. Let's imagine we want to use code Llama. Upon access, we will find a demo in which a function is requested to add two integers, and the obtained result is displayed. It is possible to modify hyperparameters, limit the number of tokens, and adjust all the parameters. By clicking on Submit, we get the result. As we observe, the platform operates efficiently. To use the model, we head to the API section. We would use the Replicate library, and an API key would be provided to access the model. We can integrate it through Python code or make direct calls to the API. The platform also offers usage examples for that model and a version history. Additionally, you can access detailed information, such as the type of license, a paper detailing the training, or even the GitHub repository. In summary, Replicate offers a wide variety of open source models that we can use easily. In this task, we will test some of the most well-known open source large language models thanks to Replicate. To search for the models, we need to go to the Model section and choose the Model Finder option. Here we have different types of models. Additionally, we have collections based on the use case. Popular on the latest models are also showcased. In our case, we will focus on some of the most renowned models, such as the Llama model. We have already seen several Llama models here. We also find the Llama with 70 trillion parameters, optimized for conversations and chats. On the other hand, there is the Code Llama, specifically designed to work with code. Let's start with the Llama with 70 trillion parameters to see how it works. As a test, we will ask it to write a poem about open source models inspired by the style of J.K. Rowling. As we can observe, the poem is satisfactory and maintains the requested style. It mentions themes such as witches and also rhymes, making it consistent with the topic we proposed. It is evident that this model delivers impressive text creation results. Next, we will test another model. For this, we go back to the previous screen and search for instance, the Vicuna model. We can see that there are different versions. Vicuna, as we previously mentioned, is optimized for GPT chat interactions. We will ask this model to compose a love poem centered on machine learning. The initial poem is brief, so we will increase the allowed token count and try again. The adjusted result is remarkable. Lastly, we will explore the Falcon model, which has 40 trillion parameters and is designed to follow specific instructions. We will make the same request to this model as we did with the previous models and compare the results. While the poem is acceptable, it doesn't seem to reach the excellence of the optimized Llama model. In this task, we'll explain how to use Replicate's Llama model from Flowise. To begin, what we need from the Replicate environment are the credentials. This can be obtained from the pricing section, where different types of credentials are displayed. There is a free option that allows us to use a limited number of models. If we want more options, we can check the listed prices. Once we have the price list and understand what each model offers, we will proceed to generate the tokens from our access system. To generate a token, it is necessary to assign it a name. Once created, we must copy this token. Next, we head to the Flowise environment. Then we navigate to the credentials section in Flowise to add this new token. Again, we look for the replicate option and paste the token. With this, we would have added the token to the system. The next step is to identify the model we are going to use. As we have already mentioned, we will use the Llama 2 model with 70 trillion parameters. From Flowise, we will create a new project. For this, a specific LangChain is required for our model. We search for Replicate's LLM and subsequently select Simple Prompt Template. The next task is to configure and link these elements. Within Replicate, we select the credentials we just entered. Then we go to the API section in Replicate and copy the model's name, which will be displayed in that section. With the name copied, we return the Flowise and enter it in the corresponding field. We link this name to the LLM chain and the language model. Finally, we complete the prompt and template. We introduce a specific command. In this case, we ask it to create a poem about cats, inspired by the writing style of J.K. Rowling. Once linked, we save our settings and assign a name to the project. With these steps, we would have everything ready to use the selected model.